Have you ever dreamed of exploring a city as vibrant and diverse as Los Angeles? Do you wonder what secrets and stories lie in its bustling streets, its hidden corners? And what if you had a guide to lead you through every step of this journey? Stay tuned. A new way to travel is about to unfold.
Meet Emily, a passionate solo traveler and a devoted pet enthusiast. She's on her way to explore the vibrant city of Los Angeles, seeking to immerse herself in the local culture and visit its famous landmarks. Emily meticulously planned her journey, aiming to experience the best of what Los Angeles has to offer. But amidst her busy itinerary, she missed out on a hidden gem, the Cuddly Cat Cafe and Happy Hour, a haven for pet lovers like herself. It's only after her trip that Emily discovers this delightful pet-friendly cafe, a missed opportunity that she deeply regrets. If only there was a way to stay informed about such unique experiences. Enter Wanderlust, the travel assistant chatbot that could have transformed Emily's experience.
When we search for travel ideas, we're bombarded with countless results. Top 10 lists, travel blogs, endless reviews. It can be overwhelming, confusing, and frankly, exhausting. With Wanderlust, say goodbye to endless scrolling and conflicting advice. This intelligent travel assistant understands your preferences, suggests destinations tailored just for you, and keeps you up to date with the most exciting upcoming events and seasonal activities. Whether it's a hidden beach getaway, a cultural city excursion, or an adventurous mountain retreat, Wanderlust simplifies your journey from dreaming to doing.
But Wanderlust is not just about words. Let's see how it brings the world closer with its image processing capabilities. Let's go back to Emily. Emily often finds herself wondering about unknown destinations she sees in Instagram Reels, TikTok, or her friends' stories. With Wanderlust, Emily simply needs to upload a photo of any place that piques her curiosity. So, whether it's a photo from a magazine, a screenshot from a friend, or a curious spot you stumbled upon online, Wanderlust turns a snapshot into your next travel story.
Hi, this is Veda from Wanderlust, and we are actually here to talk about your travel experiences and how often do you travel and what are your resources that you actually use for the travel to plan your itinerary. So we have few people with us, and let's just know about their experiences and their modes of resources for our travel. So starting with you, like how often do you travel and like what are your go-to resources to plan your trip or itineraries?
So I love to travel. I think in terms of frequency, I would take like big trips like 3 to 4 times a year, obviously depending on my schedule. And then I like to travel to small places on weekends, like short trips. And in terms of planning, I mostly use like Google Maps with the we see the ratings and images and reviews, right? That, and then social media like Instagram tags and all, and then like websites like TripAdvisor, and if I want to book a long trip, I will go to like travel agency, go through their packages, and then try to build up my itinerary on that, and then obviously friends and stuff.
Yeah, totally agree. And how often do you travel and what are your go-to resources?
So I think I also try to travel about like 3 to 4 times a year. Um my primary source of motivation or like resources to gather information is watching vlogs and also reading blogs about the place that I'm trying to visit, shortlisting a couple of places based on the information provided in multiple blogs, and then basically recommendations from my friends who have visited those kind of places as such. So that is my primary mode of gathering that kind of information. Yeah.
Yeah, great. And what about you? Like how often do you travel and what are your go-to resources?
So my case is a bit different. Like my family loves to travel overall. So my dad eventually plans the trip. Dad and I especially. So if my dad is planning the trip, he will go the olden way. Like he will refer to a travel agent. And the travel agent gives him a list of all the places to visit. And I don't know, like he never like has his references from where did he picked up and all, and we blindly just like go on that thing. So, but we travel like 2 to 3 times a year on family vacation, internationally and like in India or anywhere. Like now I'm here, my family comes here to travel, and like over here My father is like finding places to like visit the states, like which cities is like famous to go to like other countries and stuff. But yeah, I always tell him to like refer to vlogs or Instagram, but he's like, no, I have this travel agent of mine who I'm blindly like trust on, and like whatever he does, he's the best kind of thing. So it's my situation.
Yeah, that's great. So one common thing that we have noticed from all of your answers is something that you actually go to websites or TripAdvisor or like travel agents, like they have standardized trips and packages and itineraries for you, but which are not tailored, like which you actually want to, like for suppose you have happened to see this a beautiful place in your Instagram or like in your feed, so but you don't know what is it, and like you don't get personalized recommendations, like you actually don't know some hidden gems in the cities, and also like you get standardized recommendations and packages. So like let me introduce our chatbot Wanderlust, and here it is a travel chatbot and assistant just for you like travel enthusiasts, and we have personalized recommendations depending on the user preferences, and we also have the image processing capabilities, like once if you upload the picture that you like or that you have seen in your feed or Instagram, so we'll get the theme based restaurants or theme based locations or attractions that we have near your area, and also we also have a separate web interface for that, and you are actually can see recommended places depending on your travel chat history that our chatbot captures, and you'll get personalized tailored recommendations. So and it is interactive 24/7 availability, you can chat with it, and I know it is time consuming for a lot of you to actually read and plan the trips, and this is our idea of the chatbot. Like how are you finding this idea of travel chatbot? Let's start.
So I think the fact that I like is it would be a one-stop shop. So I would get a lot of different resources bundled into one, and I like to customize my itinerary depending on the preferences of the people I'm traveling with. So like I like to do activities more than sightseeing. So I think it would be very helpful in that terms. Like I can tell your chatbot like exactly what I want from my trip and then get that. And also the fact that I think you guys integrate images and different sources of data which are not textual. So I think it would be interesting in terms of the recommendations it would be provide me, and maybe it would be better because I would just have access to textual information through Google search or any other search engine. So it definitely sounds very interesting and useful.
That's good to know. So like if happen to our chatbot have this subscription, so are you willing to pay for it?
Yeah, definitely. But I would prefer like a model where I can pay for per use, like because I might not travel very regularly. So if I'm planning a trip, then I would definitely be inclined to see the recommendations Wanderlust would provide me.
That's great.
Yeah, I think if I'm looking at a subscription model, I would be willing to pay somewhere in the range of 499 to 699, provided that I get it tracks my location. For example, let's say I'm traveling maybe on a business trip or like on a leisure trip. It can provide me notifications. Okay, based on my location, like my phone's location, it can provide me like suggestions of where to visit based on my history as well. So yeah.
For me, I think I would like to like first try the software to feel like this 1 day free trial, and after that, probably like if I like get engaged in the software, I would like willing to pay like $5 or something like that.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, thank you so much for your time and suggestions, and we'll try to incorporate into our chatbot. And thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's start with market potential. Our surveys show a significant travel frequency among consumers, with nearly 80% traveling at least once a year. This isn't just a product, it's an essential service for a large segment of the population. Our chatbot offers exclusive challenges, travel guides, and personalized support, aligning perfectly with what 88% of users are excited about, experiences that money can't typically buy. Imagine you are planning a month-long tour across Europe and use a chatbot to seek detailed travel guides, book accommodations, find local cuisines, and adapt plans on the go. With GPT-4, each interaction, due to the detailed nature of the inquiries, averages about 750 tokens.
On a busy planning day, you might have up to 10 interactions, which amounts to 7,500 tokens daily. In a month, this would total approximately 225,000 tokens. The cost for this usage with GPT-4 would be $27 per month. Wanderlust is just $10 per month, favored by over 70% of our surveyed audience. For the cost of a couple of lattes, our subscribers get a premium, seamless, and interactive travel planning assistant ready to take on the world with them. That is $17 per month savings for you. You might as well subscribe to 2 other chatbots in this class than to go with pay-as-you-go subscription model. With just 8,000 subscribers, we can cross the $1 million annual revenue mark.
So,
Hello, my name is Shreyash, and today I'm presenting you Wanderlust, a chatbot who helps you to plan your travel itinerary, along with my teammates Vedanvita and Kritika. So we will be using open source large language model using our custom dataset to build our chat. So the plan of action is we will introduce you to our chatbot Wanderlust and we'll explain what sets Wanderlust apart. We'll also show you the market research that we have done. Next, we'll go to demo. We'll talk about our dataset and the model that we chose to train our large language model. So here's a chatbot, Wanderlust, and the main idea for this chatbot is to build a unique community of people, including travelers, vloggers, and influencers who have similar interests, and people will chat with our chatbot and ask him suggestions. And the chatbot will suggest themed restaurant, parks, museum, national parks, movies, etc. And later we will be planning to integrate Google API, which will help the user to get optimal routes, direction, and the places like restaurants with their reviews. So what sets Wanderlust apart? The one thing that we try to make is a tailored recommendation. So the preferences that Wanderlust will be giving will be based on the upcoming themes, the previous trips that user had, the interactive history, and many much more things that we will be training our chatbot on the custom dataset. One important thing that we should consider is chatbots are based on real-time interactions. So whenever we interact with chatbot, it's always better than navigating through reviews and forums that we search on the internet. Other thing is we will be helping user to get trustworthy suggestions. So the chatbot will be updated regularly with the new upcoming places, themed restaurants, traveling guides, and the experiences that people would share. So when we tested a chatbot during our first phase of training, we have attached a screenshot where a travel assistant would greet the user saying, "Welcome to Wanderlust. I'm your assistant for your next travel theme and how can I help?" So if you would say user can type a query like, "I want to travel next month in November, and what places can I go to hang out with my friends?" So the main idea for putting this query is that the large language models that we use in our local system doesn't have information which are based on themes or restaurants or the events which are happening in the future. So whatever data that we choose to train our model, we had informations which are coming from the future. So people have their experiences, they went to places, and they put their posts, blogs, and the data that we scrape from their experiences is useful for the chatbot to answer this question. So the first answer was very good. It's like, for fabulous November trip with friends, consider exploring Solvang Jewel Fest in Southern California. So this is an annual Christmas celebration that takes place from late November through early January in charming Danish village of Solvang. So the answer that he collected, we tried to trace it back, and we came to realize that the answer he gave was from one of the website, which is 13 Ways to Celebrate Jewel Fest Solvang Christmas 2023. So this was our first phase. In the next phase, what we did is we tried to give them an image. So one thing that we integrated in our chatbot, and it's one of the best feature I would say, is it can understand the context of an image. So in the first image that we gave, it's a Google map from Los Angeles to San Francisco.
The model selection. There are many Llama derivative models, and one of them is Ouroboros, and that is the model that we are selecting for our project. So Ouroboros large language model is fine-tuned on Llama 2, and it uses synthetic data generated by GPT-4. And by using synthetic data, it achieves higher performance and expertises in specific tasks without being need of human annotated data. And also, Ouroboros is an uncensored model which is very popular. Now, what does uncensored mean? It means that these models allow the user to train and customize the model for our own specific needs. And here we are using Ouroboros L2 7D 3.0 and Q4 model. So 7D is nothing but 7 billion parameters, and L2 is Llama 2, and 3.0 is the third version, and also it's quantized, yeah, Q4, right? So it's 4-bit quantized. Then this model is developed with the focus of maximizing the usability. So one of the notable features of this model is its ability to exhibit improve and increase reasonable capabilities. Now, due to its uncensored nature, it is highly versatile, accepting wide range of inputs and queries, like we saw earlier, images, text, and yeah. So it provides a comprehensive and efficient experience, like coding in multiple languages, and we can ask reasoning questions, math questions, and it also handles riddles. Now, what does this 4-bit quantized means? The process which reduces the precision of the weights, biases, and activations of neural network in order to reduce the size and computation requirements of the model. Now, this can be done without impacting the accuracy of the model, which is very beneficial as we can also download the model. And in our model, we are using number of GPU layers is 1, number of contexts is 4096, and the number of threads we are using is 8. These are the parameters that we are setting, and the number of threads batch is 8, and the number of batch size is 512.
So for our chatbot, we are using Gradio web interface, and the main reason behind choosing Gradio is it is one of the fastest ways to deploy your machine learning model, and also it has a very user-friendly web interface. And this is the code that we are using and the various parameters that we have used for interactive web interface. And also, as we are using the Ouroboros model for our travel chatbot, and in regarding to the embeddings, we are again using an open source embeddings, which are from the Hugging Face sentence transformers. And the pre-trained model that we are using for embeddings is all MPNet based V2 model. So let's understand why embeddings are important, because embeddings are mainly necessary for converting the image or text into the machine understanding language called like vector representation. So from these vector representations, we can actually perform semantic search, classification, clustering, and retrieval, and various other NLP tasks. As for our chatbot, the main reason for embeddings is to convert into vector representations, and we can perform semantic search and can recommend places accordingly. So let me actually tell you more about the embedding model that we are using here. So sentence transformers is a very popular framework for pre-trained embedded models for better language understanding. And we can see that all MPNet based V2 model has the best performance and over all other pre-trained models available from the sentence transformers, and it has the best performance and speed. And also it is developed by the Microsoft, and here MPNet stands for masked and permute pre-trained language network for better language understanding. And it is mainly the main goal of this model is for human generated language understanding and captioning, so which is best suited for our travel chatbot. And after embeddings, We are also using image captioning and image processing capabilities for our chatbot, which is through again an open source model, which is Blip image captioning based from Salesforce, and it is also available in the Hugging Face. And here the BLIP stands for Bootstrap Language Image Pre-trained for Unified Vision Language Understanding and Generation. And based on the mask mechanism and self-attention mechanisms, through the image, our BLIP model could be able to generate the text in relevance to the image provided to the model. In detail, technical explanation is given in further. Thank you.
So this was our introductory video, and next we are implementing retrieval augmented generation. So our data set that we are collecting is something that some restaurants or blog posts or people who are experiencing their themes in a particular seasonal activities will be posting on internet, and we will be scraping those data, and then we'll create the embeddings of that. And we are using mini LLM Hugging Face embeddings model, which is free. And then we will be storing it in a vector database. So once that is done, a user query will be prompted, and then the data that is stored in the form of embeddings will be added as a system prompt, and which will be given to our large language model to generate the answer.
Now, how to get text information about an image? So for that, we are using Blip, a a Hugging Face based by Salesforce. So here, first we are giving an input as an image to an image encoder, and it has an interface of two parts. First is the image transformer, and second is the LLM. So the first part, it extracts the output features from the image encoder and also takes the query embeddings as input. And the output what we get is a VIT, that is virtual transformer. And three types of losses have been calculated at the attention masking. First is the image text or contrastive loss, image text loss, and image text matching loss. So I'll tell you of one of the losses. So image text matching loss, in that the queries and the text generated can see each other, and a logic is being obtained to determine whether the text generated matches the image or not. So in this way, the Blip pre-trained model gives us the text information about an image.
So here's an example, like if you have an image, you will first create a caption of that image. And based on that caption, the model will know what the image is about. So when creating the caption, you can see here a man and a dog is sitting together. And if you would ask a question like, what is the dog wearing? Then you would get an answer of a pair of glasses. So this is how Blip model by Salesforce is working. On top of this, we have also created our front-end website for our Wanderlust chatbot. And here we are giving users some option to explore. And these options are provided by us. You can see there are multiple events which are advertised by a particular restaurant, a particular club, and they would tell on their advertisement that what things you can expect, and user can either click on this and get what things they can plan, or they can go to this assistant tab where it will redirect the user to our chatbot. And from here, again, whatever things user wants to ask, they can as ask to our travel assistant. Next, we will talk about how people can directly plan their trips through Google API integration that we have done in this progress. So I will open my app.py file and run it. So this will work in our local host. So once we go there, we will be presented with our website that we have created. And once we are here, we have multiple options that we have tailored for the user that they can travel their next trip. So let's say, for example, person clicks to Solvang, then he will be presented to enter their starting locations. Let's say I'll put my home address, and then if I press enter, will redirect me to the Google Maps, showing me how long it is, how many miles, what time it will require, and he can directly plan his trip right away through the Google API. So one great thing to uh, notice is to ask is that why we are doing this. What's the use of Google API integration in our chatbot?
So the main use case of integrating this feature to our chatbot is that as we are planning to implement the autogen capabilities to our chatbot, and once the user enters the preferences, so our chatbot plans the itinerary and the history is saved in the website. And also based on the history, like our chatbot can actually collect the theme or like the most recently visited places, the common theme from them. And because of these themes and all, we'll be able to generate much more better recommendations to the user, that which can be displayed on the different tiles of the website. And also once the history is remembered by the chatbot, as we are trying to implement the autogen capabilities in the future, so the different agents can talk to it regarding the theme and will be able to suggest much more better recommendations and itinerary once the user enters or prompts and suggests the better destinations to the user according to what's happening to the season or like according to the user preferences, as we'll be having the history that we have and also using the autogen capabilities, we'll be able to give the better user experience and recommendations. So the code for this is we've added a special function in the website code where we've integrated class to this. So we've added get directions functions, and from this, it Flask acts as a server to get the directions from the Google Maps. And the entire thing is we can add a traditional recommendation system algorithm to this website HTML code for better user preferences, leveraging the autogen capabilities.
This time, we are adding a new feature where user can enter its reviews and they can communicate with each other by forming this community of having reviews of different places. So to achieve this, we have added a reviews tab. So if you want to add any of the reviews, let's say uh, Grams and Whiskers, you can enter your reviews, friendly cats, and then you can give some ratings, which I want to five. It says we will add it successfully, and when we go back, you can see the terms and scores will have a review with rating 5. So our website is updated uh, as per our last progress, and we have also added a new feature to our chatbot. Now we can support voice. So in this progress, what we have done is we have added a capability of showing the action of the chatbot as well as the user. Let me explain what I mean. So in the italics, you can see Wanderlust Willow's avatar pops up on the screen. So this is the action that our chatbot will be performing. Now let me show you how the action can be helpful when a user types it. So this is one of the example that we will be trying. So as you can see, I have put asterisk, and in the asterisk, I have put taking a break from a long session of online. So this is the action that chatbot will understand. And then the message will be going to chatbot that can you recommend a relaxing way to spend the evening. So as you can see, chatbot can understand that we are tired because of our long session. So it gives you options based on. And we have also added a UI element in our radio web UI where you get options to check activate TTS, play TTS automatically, TTS as in text to speech, and then show message under text under the audio player. And you also get option to select the voice assistants. And we also added API key from our 11 labs. We will show you how we have created this web UI later. Uh, as per the previous update, we also support the text. Let's say if I want to add the image to our model, I can select image from my local computer, and then it gets added, and the chatbot will try to understand what's given in the image, and based on that, it will help you answer your query and give you the best response for your trend. So you can see chatbot has given a cat lover. I see. Let me find you some cafes in Los Angeles where you can indulge your felon obsession with sipping on a delicious cup of coffee. You can also regenerate your response. So as you can see, our chatbot can understand your intentions based on your images, and we have created the character of our chatbot in such a way that it will be acting as a travel agent. Let me show you how we have able to achieve that. So, so these are the character development that we have added as an instruction to our chatbot, where you can see the asterisk implements the action that chatbot will be performing. So, for example, actions like if a user types, if I'm interested in adventure in Los Angeles, any suggestions, it will be thinking as I'm searching, and then it will answer, let's create a city Angeles adventure. Then user ask another question, then it will say, it would do an action of finding timings, searching local cuisines, making reservations, finalizing dates. So this helps the user and the chatbot to show what action they are doing, and based on that, they will give you
So as we added the new feature here in our chatbot website is to the reviews. So we have created a separate banner as you have seen in the previous demo that we can see the review section just right after the recommended places. So here we have added a footer section. So here you can see a footer is added for the reviews. So it adds the stylings and however the background that we want, like which aligns with the previous styling of the other tiles present on the website. And here, as we have also included a star rating, like instead of just displaying a numeric rating, we have incorporated a star rating as well. And here we are using the function prompt function review. So when the user actually clicks on the review, it gets back to this call function prompt review, and where the user can enter the name of the place, like his or her review and the ratings. And after this function, like the star rating gets called and it will be displayed. And so in order to store all the reviews, we are actually using the Flask at the backend. So when the actually website runs and when the user actually gives the reviews and all, so the Flask redirects it to the get review function. And here in the Flask, once the reviews and the submit reviews functions get executed, it returns the reviews to get displayed on the website. So as we can see here, this is the display review function. Once the Flask returns the reviews entered by the user, so here the fetch get reviews is a route to the Flask. And once the Flask returns the JSON formatted strings of all the users' response, it will be displayed on the website down in the banner. And these are the various styles and review stylings and features that we have added for better user.
let's move on to the our code for adding the voice feature.
So the new feature that we have added is text to audio. This is a very important and a unique feature, and it's very much useful as well. So let's say the output is a very big para, and obviously it's bored to read a very big para. So and our chatbot will convert the text to audio, and meanwhile you can do some other activity. So you can do multitasking as well. So let me go through over this code to tell you about it. So we have used the 11 labs library. We have imported it for this function. And then we are setting few attributes. That is API key. We have created an account with 11 labs and we have got a free version of API key for that. And we're using the selected voice as Bella We can use multiple other voices as well. And we are using the model as 11 monolingual as in single language. We can use other models such as 11 multilingual as in several languages as a model as well. And then we are setting autoplay as true and show underscore text as true. I'll tell you about this a little later. And if we have other API keys, we can use this function to update it. And then we are using the voice as a selected voice as well. We can use other voices also using this function that we have written here. Then later on, we are within this function toggle underscore text underscore in underscore history. So here this function saves the audio generated in our history, which we can download it later. And then um, here we have also given a path where the audio file gets saved.
So, let's embrace the joy of travel again. With Wanderlust, exploring the world is just the beginning. Thank you, and here's to many happy travels.